Greetings, people. I come in peace. Boxing has always been classed as a sport of honour and courage. For over 150 years, we've had the Marquis of Queensberry rules. If we go further back, people fought duels to uphold their honour and respect, until it became unfavourable, unfashionable. We actually get the term seconds out from the seconds who helped prepare the man to duel with pistols and swords. Interestingly, if you refused to duel, you'd be shunned and marked as dishonourable and cowardly. I'm pleased to say that's no longer the case, and now boxing is one of the ways men and women can show their skill, courage and honour without risking certain death and get paid for it. Although money has a positive and negative effect on boxing, the positive being that some boxers can make a very good living and set themselves up for life. The negative is that it can become the sole purpose for their participation, which leads to greed, apathy and laziness. For success in boxing, you must be motivated by more than just money. See, I think money is directly responsible for the lack of activity of top boxers. Most of the big names fight once a year, maybe twice, if you're lucky. Canelo Alvarez is to be commended though. Win or lose, he fights 4, maybe 5 times in a 12-month period. And that's saying something, because he's the highest paid boxer in the world. Notice his motto is, no boxing, no life. It's clearly not all about money. With him, it's passion and love for the sport. Why I'm saying all of this is because as a boxing fan, I feel shafted, particularly with the latest Fury shenanigans. It's just crystallized the problem in boxing. There's so many fights. There's so many fights to be made, but it's near impossible to get them across the line. Whether that's to do with the rival promoters not wanting to work together, useless managers or boxers not willing to take the risk. The bottom line, it's money. Or should I say greed? There's nothing wrong with money, is there? But it's the greed. The wanting for more.
Ain't you been a little
In the
greedy,
past,
Buster?
they didn't have the luxury to be so picky. If they were paid less, they'd have to fight more. I mean, if I was paid 2 to 10 million a fight, I'd find it a bit tricky to get out there and on my runs. I'm afraid we live in a world where we don't produce enough people with strong character. A man's word used to be his bond.
I give you my word.
Now pathological liars are cuddled instead of being vilified. People talk undeniable nonsense and get applauded. There is no incentive to change. It's well known that people live down to your expectations. If you expect much, you get accordingly. If you don't expect much, you get rubbish. Boxing fans have to demand more. They take our gate money, our pay-per-view, our subscriptions, and give us scraps.
Oh my God, they're fleecing
The essence of boxing is dying. And if we let fighters get away with the bag, then it's over. Let's keep expectations high. Media, do your job. Boxers, fight the best fights regularly as well. Judges, be honest and do the right thing. Maybe we'll breathe new life into the sport.
Perhaps a breath of fresh air will clear our minds.
We also have to give credit to fighters like AJ, Usyk and some others who don't duck fights. And if it was solely down to them, they'd fight more regularly. Anthony Joshua did bring a lot of attention back to boxing in the UK and internationally. I was listening to a podcast the other day, US boxing fans, and they said they wouldn't have known about and have any interest in certain British fighters if it wasn't for AJ sparking interest on the UK scene. I never thought about it like
Joshua.
Anthony.
and now we have another UK-born champion that's dismantling all the good work. There's other boxers that are game, but they aren't getting the fights. And to be perfectly honest, I think the corruption in boxing has gone through the roof.
Absolute power corrupting, absolutely.
Where do they get some of those judges
You
from?
are corrupt.
Why are handlers able to persuade boxers not to take fights that would earn them more money than they could ever imagine, and to sit down and be inactive instead?
Oh, y'all want some psychedelics?
And then they wonder why they can't pay their bills. The mind boggles. It really does. And this other side of the street nonsense is just silly soundbite. Get over yourselves. We are the ones that pay your wages, and I refuse to pay to see a predictable one-sided fight that has no meaning but a money grab for greedy boxers and promoters and managers. And that goes for any weight category. The fights must start to make sense. There's plenty of it out there. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Remember, choose life.